Hello and welcome back to another FPL video. Now, I haven't had time to do my transfer plan video this week, so I've gone straight into team selection, which is actually a day late. I would have liked to have done it yesterday. Didn't have time, but it's not the worst thing in the world because I was thinking about putting Felix in my team and I got away with that one. So, the plan is to do, this is my team currently without doing any transfers. Then I've done 3 drafts of what I'm thinking about doing, whether I will or not. But I do think I'll definitely make 2 transfers with both my 3 hits. But I am also thinking about taking a 4-point hit, maybe an 8, more 4 than an 8, but we'll see. So anyway, this is the team how it looks so far. Now, when I'm looking at this, there's probably 9 players that I'm comfortable with, maybe another one that I might get rid of or 2. But defenders wise, Kepa in goal. Now, he had a stinker last night, but Crystal Palace at home, I reckon he'll do alright there. Where Danny Ward, I'm not seeing him keeping a clean sheet against Forest away, because Forest, they got that win midweek. They're going to win. Well, I don't know if Forest will win that game, but I'm not. Leicester in poor form, doesn't look great. But I'm more confident with Kepa in goal. And my defence, Trippier, you don't touch, even if it is just one game. Fulham at home, they're at home as well, so that's good. Luke Shaw, tough first game, double game week though, definitely not touching him, and he's in form. Now Cancelo, he is the man I'm strongly, surprisingly considering selling. Never thought I'd say that at the start of the season, but he's in and out of the team. He played midweek, which is not good. That probably means he will be benched for the United game. So really, you're looking at probably one game, and even then, will he play that game? I don't know. Now the biggest problem is, who can I replace him with? Because straight away I'm thinking I want to get a Man City defender in. Now I'm not getting a goalkeeper in, not getting Edison in. I'm ruling that one out straight away. So what defender do I want? And the biggest problem with Man City is Kyle Walker's just come back from injury. He's not playing 90 minutes all the time, so he's not consistent enough. Akanji, who come for his replacement, since Walker's been back, Akanji's played 45 minutes. So he's not reliable. John Stones didn't play the other night because he's got an injury, so will he be back in time? We don't know. Laporte's just come back from an injury, so will he play again after playing midweek? I don't know. Gomez at left back had a shocker in Southampton, got subbed off at half time, so I doubt he's going to come on. Nathan Ake seems to be the strongest candidate to bring in, but even then, could Stones be fit enough to play and then he goes for Laporte with him? But then could Ake play left back instead of Cancelo? So, yeah, I'd definitely go Ake as my favourite option for Man City. And then I look at Liverpool, they're horrendous at the back. I wanted Trent Alexander-Arnold a couple of weekends ago. Now I've got no need to touch him because I don't see a clean sheet. If Van Dijk's injured, they're definitely not keeping clean sheets. Yes, Trent might get an assist, maybe Robbo will get an assist. But they're just so inconsistent. I need to see form before I even consider Liverpool defenders. And everybody else, I don't want double Man United because, yes, they could beat Man City, but they could also concede 6 against them. So that's what's put me off of that. Whereas midfield-wise, this is another problem I'm having because Rashford and De Bruyne, you're not going to touch. Double game week players. Rashford's in form. De Bruyne, you always think it's either De Bruyne or Salah, and with him having the double, you're going to go for the De Bruyne, aren't you? I don't want to touch Almiron. I like that fixture. And Martinelli's been a god for me this season as well as Trippier, so I don't want to touch him. So the only player in the midfield I could look at getting rid of is Pereira on my bench and upgrading him, going for 5 midfield maybe. That's an option. That's something I'm considering because I'm not sure. Fulham have got the best of fixtures coming up, so that's probably a reason to get rid of him. And I can't see his price going up anytime soon. So I wouldn't lose out on much either if I want to bring him back. And then strikers. Darwin is allegedly injured or out for 3 weeks. That's the grapevine on Twitter at the minute that I've heard. So he will be out of my team for this weekend. That's 100% sure. Now it's all about replacing him because I am not taking a chance. It's bad enough probably taking a chance on Cancelo. To have taken a chance on both of them, no. That's too much money just sitting on your bench if neither of them play. and they've only got one game week this week, so, and it's Brighton as well. Brighton seems to be a bit of a bogey team in recent games, so he's definitely coming out. Now it's all about which player to go for, and again, I don't know who to go for, because Harry Kane seems like an obvious one, but we'll have to see, because I'm not really a fan of their double game week fixtures, but I'll probably tinker it, see what I feel at the time. But he's an option. And Mitrovic, like I just said, with the Fulham fixtures, I'm not liking him at the minute. I think 4 weeks I might just have him out, or 3 game weeks maybe, and put somebody else in and take a hit. But it is a big risk, because Mitrovic is in form this season, so he could easily score in those games, and I could get done over here. Right, so this is the first draft. Now, as you can see, in this one, I've gone for the -4 hit. I've made 3 changes. The first one, Nathan Ake's in for Cancelo. Now, I did say, out of all the Man City defenders, he is probably the best option, I feel, anyway. Knowing my luck, he'd be the one that would be taken off and rested. But he's the one who's been playing the most games recently. He's been playing well. And it feels right to go for him. I have looked at other defenders from other clubs now. There is maybe go for a Spurs or an Arsenal one, but not a lot of options. I don't want to have 2 Man United defenders. I don't want to go double Newcastle defence. Wouldn't be the worst shout in the world, but I always feel like I could get an extra attacker when it comes to Newcastle, so that's why I don't fancy that. My second change, I've gone for the upgrade of Pereira here in Martin Odegaard. Now, I had him at the start of the season, he did wonders for me. And just before the World Cup, I said I might put him in my team. He's somebody I was looking at, and then I bottled it. I thought, nah, I'm not going to do that, because I did believe West Ham and Brighton, those 2 fixtures from were too difficult, and I didn't think he would get much. But I was really wrong there, and I was really annoyed. So, and he's gone up in price as well, which is annoying. At the time he was 6.4, he's now 6.7 mil. So I've gone for him. Now he's only got the 1 fixture for this week, but he's just been playing so well for Arsenal. He's their captain. He's definitely a 90-minute man. It just seems like a good decision, even though it is a North London derby. I am confident there'll be goals in this game, so that's why I've considered going for him. And then my final one is Harry Kane. Now, I had him also in my team earlier in the season. I did call him Mr. Consistent. I decided to take him out because I felt like he had tough fixtures. And he did score the odd goal, but not as many. So I did think that was a good decision from me. But since the World Cup, he has been scoring again. So maybe I do wish I got him a bit sooner again. Definitely instead of Darwin Núñez, man. So he is an option. He scores against Arsenal, to be fair to him. So there is that, but I don't know. There's something about Kane that's putting me off. But he does score. He's scoring goals. If it weren't for Haaland, he'd be the top goal scorer in the league. So you can't really ignore that. Yes, he's got tough fixtures. Yes, Conte does play defensive, but Harry Kane is still scoring goals. So I can't really ignore that. The only issue I have now looking at these 3 players is they look really good picks to me. But they look really good picks 2 game weeks ago when they got all those points, the 3 of them. Is it 2 weeks ago? What are we on now? We're on game week 20, are we? So 4. Is it 4? 3 or 4 game weeks. They've been smashing the points in the last few weeks. Am I a bit late on this one? I could be. That is a put-off. Am I too late? Or am I on the bandwagon at the right time? We'll have to see. That's another reason why I'm not 100% sure, because you want to get the player before they get the points. Don't get the player after he's got the points, because unless his name is Erling Haaland, there's a small chance that you're going to get those points. So then, this is my second draft where I've decided to go for a -8 on this one. Again, Cancelo's out. Now, I'm not being funny. I do reckon Pep might actually have a personal problem with Cancelo. And I wouldn't be surprised to see if he leaves in the summer at this rate, because I have no idea why he's decided to change his position. Because he's not happy with how he's playing in that position now, and he's taking him off. He's not being deemed good enough. Put him back how he was. I don't know what he's doing with these tinkerings, but it ain't working at the minute. But anyway, I've gone for Perisic to replace him now. Perisic does have a double game week this week, but it is Arsenal and Man City, so it's nothing really to shout about. Can I see him keeping a clean sheet in these 2 games? The answer is no. Simple. I don't see any chance Spurs keeping a clean sheet. I mean, Conte might try his best, play 10 at the back maybe, but I just don't see it. But Perisic is an attacking left wing back. He might even play even further forward. He might decide to play him more left wing. I mean, I can't see him taking Son off, but you never know. He could go further forward, and there's always a chance this guy will score a goal. Well, I say score a goal, get an assist. I can see that happening. Obviously, he's not going to play left wing, because that's Son's place, and you know, he's not going to take Son off again, I'm sure. I mean, just because Son scored, though, doesn't mean he's going to be starting. But yeah, I don't know why I'm blabbering on, because he definitely will. But anyway, I've gone for Perisic in this one, because he is an attacking defender, and he's got 2 games this game week, so it's more of a sensible choice. Will he play both games, though? He's 33. I'm not sure about the second game. He definitely played in the first game. I'm not 100% sure the second game. I'm 80% sure. No, 70% sure he'll play. That's why I put him in there. With the midfield, again, I've decided to take out Pereira. Poor Pereira. He's been done so well for me this season. It's a shame that I'm looking at getting rid of him. But I've gone for Eze. Now, I've liked Eze this season. He's done really well for Crystal Palace. He's got the same amount of points as Wilfried Zaha, who everybody keeps going for. So he's definitely doing it on the quiet as well. The only problem again with Crystal Palace, like Spurs, their double game week is horrible as well. I mean, Chelsea away. I mean, Chelsea are abysmal at the minute. They've just got beat by Fulham, so they could go out them. But Man United at home, the only thing is it is at home, so they've got a better chance. So it might be a bit of a worth of a punt to go for him. 5.6, but this is one that I could easily just go, nah, I'll just leave it. Not take the 4-point hit. Because realistically, if I want to take hits, I want to take it on hits for players that are going to start. There's no point taking a hit for him just to sit on my bench. So this is just one I've been tinkering with, whether I'll go with it or not. I just like Eze. I really wish he was the 4.5 million midfielder. It's frustrating that he was more than that. But it is what it is. Now, strikers, I've gone for 2 changes. So I have took Mitrovic out this time. And obviously, like I've already said, Darwin's going out. The first one I've gone for is Calvin Lewin. Might be a surprise, might not be. I don't know. Don't know what other people are thinking. The reason I've gone for Calvin Lewin is Everton need to win this weekend. They really need to win. So does Southampton, who they've got. They really need to win as well. But the thing with Everton is they're at home. That's the only reason why I've gone for Calvin Lewin this game week. It would have been Che Adams otherwise. But it's Calvin Lewin. Now, after that, West Ham away. That's also a big game because West Ham are struggling. And Arsenal and Liverpool, they're tough games. And then he's got, after that, a nice run of fixtures. But now, right this second, Everton need a win. And Calvin Lewin takes penalties and he's their talisman. So this would be more of a 1 week punt for me. And I'm really strongly considering it. But if they lose against Southampton, it will burn me. And it definitely burned me as well if Adams scores. But I think it would be a good 1 week punt. But would it be worth taking a hit for him if I decide to do this 8-point hit? I'm not 100% sure. I don't know why. I think Everton are going to score a few goals this weekend, especially when it's at Goodison Park. So that's why I'm considering him. And then finally, my final choice. This is a big gamble if I go for it. And it's Ivan Toney. At the minute, he's got a 50% chance of playing because of his leg injury. Now, in the week, when he had that FA Cup game, was it in the week or the weekend, whatever it was, he said he might be able to be in the squad. Now, he wasn't. So, will he be in the squad for this weekend? Well, so far there's no word. This is another reason why I'm waiting to the deadline. I really want to wait to the deadline this one, but it's so frustrating that the deadline's tonight. Why couldn't it be tomorrow? Even then, it's a 5:30 kickoff against Bournemouth, so I won't hear anything probably. unless he does mention it in his press conference. So I've got to watch that one. If he says categorically Tony's fit, then I will. He's the guy that I want in my team. He was in such good form just before that injury, right at the end of the game, where what was it? I don't know what it was, leg injury anyway. He's now got Bournemouth at home if he plays, Leeds away, Southampton at home. Those three fixtures, man, they are good fixtures, and Brentford are playing really well at the minute. So this could be a great gamble to go for, but I'm not going to go for it unless I hear some good news. I do want him. I really want him to be fit for Bournemouth because I want to put him in those 3 games. Like I said, in Mitrovic, he's got tough games coming up, so I think it'd be perfect to have Tony in for 3 weeks and then take him out and then bring in Mitrovic. Even then, I could keep Tony and then put Mitrovic back in instead of Calvin-Lewin, because all he's got is Arsenal, then he's got Palace, good fixture, then he's got United, that's tough, then it's Fulham, Everton, Leicester, good fixtures there. So he's got a run of good fixtures coming up. That's why I want Tony. Right then, so this is my 3rd and final draft for my team selection. Again, it's another hit. This time it's a 4-point hit. But if I'm being honest, literally as I'm looking at this right now, this could easily be a -8 hit. I'll go into it now. Cancelo is the guy again I've taken out. So as you can see, the other players are not being touched. It doesn't matter if Cancelo is better than him or not. At the minute, he's just not playing. And costs that much, he's got to go. I've gone for Ben White of Arsenal. Ben White is the cheapest Arsenal player. Don't really need to go for the cheapest because I've still got 7.2 million in the bank. But Saliba, for example, 1 yellow from a suspension, not really worth it. Zinchenko, yeah, he's alright. Gabriel, he could be probably a decent option as well. But I've gone for Ben White because he's on the right side, so there's a small chance he could get forward, but I doubt it. But he's there. Now they've got 2 tough fixtures coming up, so what I could do easily is just put him on the bench, have Thomas in play instead. Cause I think Leicester's fixtures are easier than Arsenal's, especially with the first one. Arsenal got Spurs, where Leicester's got Forest. Both derby games really, but I do think Leicester got a better chance than Arsenal at keeping a clean sheet, but I've been wrong before. With the midfield now, at the minute there's no changes in this one, but like I said, if I go for a -8, I've just thought of this as I'm looking at it. What I could do here is take Pereira out and go for Gibbs White, because their fixtures, Forest's fixtures for Forest are decent. Gibbs White plays midfield, but he plays at front for Forest, and he seems to be their main guy at the minute this season. You can't ignore that. He's definitely their main guy. He could be a good punt to go for. Now, the issue is, would I start him? Who would I start him over? Would it be Martinelli? Maybe. Wouldn't be wrong, because I have more faith in Newcastle scoring against Fulham. Strike-wise, we'll talk about in a minute, but out of those 3 that you've got at the minute in front of you, no would be answer. So, but Gibbs White is a big shout out whether I put him in or not, because he's playing really well. Now the strikers again, 2 changes. Now obviously, if Darwin Núñez didn't have his knock, I wouldn't be really looking at getting rid of him. But he's got whatever it is was wrong with him. He's definitely out now, for me anyway. So that's why I'm always going for 2 strikers to come out. Now the first one we'll go into is Callum Wilson. Callum Wilson, the man who really burned me just before the World Cup. He had those Hall of points. He had all those Hall of points. I got, was it 18 points? Brought him in, 1 point. 1 point. Dreadful. I've decided to look at bringing him back in just because I think they can score in these next 3 games. The only problem is now, Isaac is back. So will Callum Wilson be getting all this game time? Probably not. Will he be starting? Another issue. But Fulham at home, decent fixture. Palace away, decent. West Ham home, good fixture. Then Bournemouth away. Next 4 games for Newcastle look good. So it would be daft not to look at a Newcastle striker. Again, the problem is Isaac's back. we're going to see really, maybe not, probably not now, maybe, but it's all about who's going to be that number one starting striker. Because I think, what was it, when Isaac was there, Wilson was injured, then Isaac got injured, and then Wilson came back. So we've not actually had them both fit together. So we're going to find out soon who is going to be the starting striker, or if Eddie Howe decides to go for both of them. That would be interesting. And then finally, I've gone for a third Man United player. Never thought that would happen this season anyway. And if it did, I thought it'd be Ronaldo up here. But no, it's Martial. I've gone for Martial, 6.6 million. That's fairly cheap to be fair. He's dropped down quite a bit in price. This is for the double game week mostly. Arsenal was still a fixture, but then after that, we've got some decent fixtures. But the biggest problem with Martial is he's never fit. He's never fit. Will he play in both of those double game weeks? Probably not. But I've been wrong before. Now, somebody said he weren't in training last night or yesterday, whenever it was. So, obviously he didn't play in the cup game midweek. Hopefully, I mean for me, I hope he does play. But Martial could go either way. The guy's glass. He does play well when he plays, but he's just glass, man. So he's another option now. When I'm going through all these plays now, I've gone Ben White. Oh, he's cheap. Ooh, I'm not sure about him. Oh, Gibbs White would be decent, but would I put him in? I don't know. Wilson. Oh, he's good, but will he play? I don't know. And then same Martial. So this third draft doesn't sound great. But if all these 4 players, 3 players, whatever it is, play, then they do perform, I would look like a pro. Can I see it happening? Maybe, well, for Martial, maybe one game. Callum Wilson, could he get 60 minutes and a goal? It's possible. Could White get a clean sheet? Again, possible, but Spurs is a tough game. And there you have it. That is my team selections for game week 20. Now, I don't know about you lot, but I'm finding it so hard to decide on who to bring in and that. It's getting harder and harder this season. I don't know what it is. And when it's double game weeks, it is horrible. But I do hope you like that video. And please don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you all on the next one.